Welcome into WagerTalk TV. We're talking Fresno State and the Oregon Ducks. I am Drew Martin, joined by Brian Leonard and Tony Mejia of WagerTalk.com. Tony, coming to you first. We're seeing the Oregon Ducks here, minus near 3 touchdowns, 20.5 right now, looking at the WagerTalk odds screen. Total of 61.5. What are you liking here, Fresno State and Eugene, Oregon, on Saturday?
Well, look, all right, so I love Oregon. I think they're going to win the Pac-12. I like them over Washington by a little bit. And Oregon and Washington have the same problem, as they have a quarterback situation that is not clarified at this point. Like, they like who they like, but at the same time, they could go either way with anything. They have tremendous offensive line play. They have tremendous defensive line play. Oregon has Thibodeau, who is the number one draft pick. Like, period. Like, that's who's going to be. That's who's going number one. He's like, the guy that's at Washington right now. Okay, so, and then you have the Fresno State Bulldogs, who, like, Kalen DeBoer, nobody knows him. Like, in terms of coaches, like, I can name you 80 coaches before I go to Kalen DeBoer. And then at the same time, anybody that knows that guy says, oh, he's really talented. Like, he's really disciplined. What do they do to UConn? And I'm annoyed because I was in Vegas this past weekend. 45-0 as a 28-point favorite. So, I mean, they took care of business. And so now you have one game under your belt. Can you cover 21? I think they can.
Okay, maybe looking towards the favorite here from Tony and Brian. Any disagreement there? Would you look to lay it here with Oregon?
One of the services I use, in fact, a couple of them, rank him 93rd out of the coaching ranks. So, there's a lot of people that don't know who he is, and it's because he hasn't had a lot of success yet. I had Fresno last week as a free play, did it on one of these videos, and they crushed Connecticut. Don't read too much into that if you're looking to bet on Fresno State, as Connecticut is one of the worst teams in college football, and they're a team that didn't play last year. We saw the same thing out of New Mexico State the last weekend, a team who didn't play last year, and they looked terrible also. So we really didn't gain a lot of Fresno State other than the victory if you bet on them last week. You're looking at talent-wise, they're 90th in college football, and Oregon's 10th. So Oregon recruits a lot better. I know they don't know who the quarterback is right now. It's not a proven quarterback. But to me, I made this line 24. So to me, it's Oregon or nothing for myself here. I think Fresno is a team that's a little bit overrated based on last week. And keep in mind, one of our friends put this out on Twitter the other day, and he talked about how teams do with a game under their belt. And this was Brad. So it's one of those situations where you would think, and in the past, it has been a good thing to have that game under your belt. But since 2000, it's been a losing proposition. People give it too much credence, and Oregon right now, it's you got to choose something in these early games. And I would much rather have an Oregon team that recruits better, that has the better coaching, has better position coaches, and has the better talent against a team that just beat up on one of the worst teams in college football.
Yeah, and guys, to Brian's point, I think you mentioned somebody put it out on Twitter. Actually, for the last couple of years, it's a trend I've watched here, Brian, in terms of the team that already has the game under their belt, you would think would be a team to look to bet on. But actually, for whatever reason, maybe it's the film out, not really sure on that. It's a slight losing trender. You're right. And is that something you would put it towards, that in this situation, Oregon has film on what Fresno State's going to do offensively and defensively? Therefore, that actually be more of an advantage than just, running through a game against UConn. That's almost like a practice game, right, Brian?
Well, it was Brad Powers that put it out, by the way, and I apologize to Brad for that. I forgot his last name for a moment. Well, the thing was, all Fresno had to do was run the football last week. So even though they have the film, really, what is it worth? Because they're not going to show a whole lot against a team that they could just physically dominate. So I don't think there's going to be any advantage of watching that film. But it's just something for me that Oregon's got the better players, and I think the line's a little bit cheap. Like I said, I made it 24. It opened 20.5. I'm seeing 20.5 out now. 20 is Circa. I might have to get in touch with Circa as soon as we finish up here because I don't think it's going to go much lower than that. But I prefer the Oregon side here. A lot of talent on that team.
All right, maybe laying less than 3 touchdowns here with the Ducks to cover at home. For Brian Leonard, Tony Mejia, I am Drew Martin. Make sure to check out both Tony and Brian on WagerTalk.com. A lot of good free information, free plays, live odds as well. So check it out, WagerTalk.com. Enjoy the game, guys. Fresno State and Oregon.